All right. So I've been dreading to make this video because I did not want to admit the inevitable. So if you've read the title and if you're watching this, you probably already know what it's all about. But if you don't know, I did do a case study. I was working on a case study for this Past Profits program called Beurax. I wanted to put it to the test because it was sounded way too good to be true. And if you're watching this video, you probably already know what the outcome is. But I also wanted to make this so that I can put closure to the case study and also share with you a little bit of my opinions. And if you watch it till the very end, hopefully leave some nuggets and leave some learning lessons that I definitely learned from it to help spot these types of Ponzi schemes in the future. Now, is there a glimmer of hope that this whole Burex could actually be a legitimate update or still legitimate? I'm actually going to touch base on that as well. And at the very end, I'm going to also give you a couple updates what I'm going to do with this channel because now that this case study is done, I'm going to be working on a different one. And you can also leave comments as to if there's anything that you want me to be able to try out and put for another case study as well. But spoiler alert, Burex is a... I'm not even going to say it. But while we are here, let us cue the intro. Yeah, people come, yeah, people go. All right, so right now we are sitting on Friday, March 12th, 2021, 5:42 p.m. As you know me, I do like recording the time and date because, I don't know, that's just what I do. And if you don't know who I am, Zen from the Journey Into. Yeah, I've been working on OBS Studio for a bit. I actually like it was actually pretty cool. But anyways, so getting back down to the point. I was doing a case study. So just so that you could see what I've been working on, this is my YouTube channel. Okay. Oh, I don't even have it here. Hold on, let me just go over. Perfect. Let's remove that. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So this is my YouTube channel. Okay. About a month ago, I was working on a case study for Beurax specifically itself, as you can see over here. I've got 3 videos. The first one was actually talking about how awesome it is if it was legit, but there were definitely red flags. That's why I wanted to start this whole case study. The second video was actually putting the interest to the test. And over here, they were giving us the proper interest that they were saying, which was that at this point, 1.4%, but there were not a lot of different platforms. And the third video I did, which was just about 2 weeks ago, was a withdrawal proof, right? And over here, I was actually able to withdraw from Beurax to my crypto exchange down to my bank. So I was actually able to put money. That is why when I was, that is why my last video, if you actually watch this withdrawal proof, I said that although the withdrawals are working, there's still red flags involved because if you haven't actually checked out my video on, I have a video over here about Ponzi schemes somewhere in here. But anyways, I've got a video over here about Ponzi schemes and pyramid schemes, knowing the difference between them and what actually makes it, because there's actually a fine line behind a Ponzi scheme and a legitimate business. There is a fine line between a pyramid scheme and a legitimate business, right? And I actually go over that in detail in one of my videos here. I just can't find it at the moment, right? But what happens is if you go down to Beurax now, let me just put this here. This is actually what pops up. Right, we get an error 521, website is down. I'm laughing because that is a very sad laugh, really. But yeah, so this is what you pop up. So when I started off this, I invested a little bit. I was able to withdraw. But now we've got this whole error 521, which means that the website is down. What also is disturbing is that I had to actually pull this up from one of our fellow YouTubers' website video because this is actually what popped up when about a couple days before March happened. So I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to keep it up here and just go over in a little bit of a paraphrase. But what actually happened was that due to high levels, apparently, and they've decided to actually take our deposits and everything that we've had and locked it up in what they called a, over here, I can't really highlight it, but it says compensation swap, right? So apparently they were going to give us, I think, 7% for their troubles of actually withholding our withdrawals. And if you look at the very bottom, it says from April 1st, 2021, Beurax will continue to provide services to customers in line with basic marketing, right? So the idea behind this letter that we got that was sent out was that, okay, we're going to lock up all your money and you cannot withdraw any of it until April 1st. But because of all this influx of people that are coming into the website, so because of this, we didn't want anybody to actually miss out on any interest rates or growth on their investments. So what they did was lock our money up that we've already had there in a 20 working day compensation swap, which meant that we couldn't withdraw anything while they accumulated like 7% for us. Now, the reason why that is definitely a that why that was actually a red flag, and from that point forward was like more not hysteria, but a lot more thoughts going out, and like it's just going down the drain, was that any company that promises like 7% a day, that's in a month, that's 210%, right? Now that if it, now again, I'm not a financial advisor, all right? I'm not a financial professional, nor am I a professional trader. I just love learning about financial things and trading in general. So what I do is just share with you my own personal opinions, experiences, my calculations, and I could be absolutely wrong. I share with you what I do with my money. You decide to do with whatever you want to do with your money, okay? But with my experiences, I've done trading before, and to be able to get returns of, let's say, 1.4% daily is possible. Highly unlikely, but that's possible. And I actually work close in hand with really like 6, 7, 8 figure traders who develop bots that are able to make those sort of returns, but they're legitimate. Like they actually have a software that actually provides the returns, and they show out exactly what it is, and they range from 20 to 50% monthly. Okay, these numbers sound pretty big, but even just last month, and I'm going to show through on my phone and just documentation, we had a 70% return on our investment. Okay, but that company requires, like, that company takes a 25% performance fee, which makes sense because they've created this bot for us, and they don't guarantee that they're going to give us 70% every month. They don't even guarantee that they're going to give us 20% every month, right? And like with Beurax, they promised us 1.4% daily. But even though this AI platform that I actually work with close friends of mine, they don't even promise that, whereas Beurax did. And the reason why I thought this was actually very possible is because I'm going to show you some screenshots. Now, actually, before I get there, the difference between a Ponzi scheme and like everything else, the reason why this is now classified as a Ponzi scheme is because, again, watch my video. It has very detailed, but at the end of the day, just to give you an overview of what a Ponzi scheme is versus a pyramid scheme. Ponzi scheme, straight investments. Pyramid schemes, straight recruitments. Okay, there are two different ways to be able to create this. These are two different scams, and they're structured differently. And a Ponzi scheme is basically where the mastermind says, all right, they go out to, let's say, person A. They say, person A, give me your money. I'll be able to put it into a trading platform and give you 1.4% back. Okay. And at the same time, if you tell other people, person B, person C, person D, to give mastermind the money, I'll give you a small percentage of that, and we'll be able to give them those returns as well. Now, that sounds exactly like Beurax, right? But a Ponzi scheme versus a legitimate business is that with a Ponzi scheme, there is nothing that they're actually trading. Okay, they're saying that you're good, they're going to take your money and then trade it, but they're actually not doing it. They're giving you money back based on the referrals, based on the fact that, okay, they're giving you that time frame within 30 or 60 days, we'll give you your full refund back. But when they take your money, they're not trading it. It's just sitting there in their hands. So eventually what's going to happen is that it's going to collapse because somewhere down the road, somebody puts in a lot of money, they want that money back, but there's just nothing to give back to everybody that put the money inside. Whereas in a legitimate business, and because now think about it, so what are the banks doing, right? Banks are doing the exact same thing. They're taking our money, they're giving us small percentages, not much, but they're taking small percentages. But the reason why banks are legitimate is because when they take our money and it's sitting in our savings or checkings or whatever it is, they're actually trading in forex markets, in the stock markets, in the markets that are out there, which are trillions and billions of dollars, right? They have their own AIs that actually compound our money like crazy and only give us like 1 or 2% annually, right? So that's a difference between a Ponzi and a legitimate. I'm telling you, there's a fine line. Watch that video. I thought it was a pretty good one, but there is a fine line between a Ponzi scheme and an actual legitimate business, and that is the fact that there's an actual trading software in there, or there's actual trading happening, right? And that's why there was a red flag, even though we were getting withdrawals, right? Doesn't necessarily mean that they were true. And I want to show you another picture that they had in the Beurax website that gave us a more convincing approach to it, right? Let me just pull that up quickly, right? So if you go over here, they had these platforms, right? And it was like on live, right? They had these real-time monitoring dashboards, BTC, ETH, all the cryptocurrencies. You can see 24 hours, they were making 0.82% return. 7 days, they were making 4.97% return, right? They were showing all the open orders that they were actually doing, their sells, their buys. And if you don't know much about trading, I was actually looking at these and I was looking at what was the case. I was making some of their trades with what they were calling, and they were good. Right? They were actually working out. So they show this one was a loss, this one was a sell, this was a thing, and that they were making actual profits on it, right? On the minute time frame. And it was a very, very elaborate like platform, right? But the reason why oops. The reason why that was also a red flag is because I've actually been duped by an Elon Musk scam. I don't know if you've ever seen, but there was like a Twitter feed or Twitter thing where I think it was either Elon Musk or somebody like in a billionaire status. But then we're giving away free Bitcoin because we just bought into it and we think it's awesome. You put in this much, we'll double the return. And I'm telling you, when you look at the platform that these people were actually doing the exchanges, it was like real time. People were putting it in. They were showing you where it was going to. People were like saying it was being taken out. People were like, yeah, I got this. It was cool. But that was like, in hindsight, that was a big bot that was just accumulating all, like, that was creating that buzz, right? So when you actually put the money in, which at that point I actually put some money in, there was no money returned. There was like nothing came back because it was a scam. I'd laugh again, but it's not funny. It's just that what else can you do, right? So the scam of Beurax is a very elaborate plan because on top of the platform that they actually did, what also happened was, let me pull this up. They also had government documents that were out there on their website saying that they were a registered business or registered company. Beurax Corporation, they were registered under the Australian company, right? They had an ACN number. The regulatory was the Australian Securities and Investments Commission. They had this on their website. And when this happened, our community that we were with, the community that I was with, we went down to the ASIC and started sending them emails saying, how can this be? Is Beurax actually real? Did you look at the documents? And I don't have it on me. Let me actually just pause the video, see if I could bring it up. All right, so I'm going to pull this up really quickly because this was actually sent out to the government website, and this was the email that they sent back. Right, and that's this. Right, so, whoops. Right, so if you just look over here, it says we can't advise if a company is trustworthy. We have searched the company's name and there is a company registered as Beurax Corporation. However, we can't confirm or deny if any complaints have been lodged in regards to this company. Right, so it's just insane. So apparently they could get like these documents, which they are registered apparently with the Australian government, but whether they're trustworthy or anything like that, it's just they can't confirm nor deny it. And there's a document out there that said that they had $75 million, I think, like in assets before registering with this with the Australian government, and apparently, like it just baffles my mind how they were still able to get a registration with Australia. Uh, Without having to go through some sort of audit. Like I'm not even too sure. Like, and that's why, like, going back to the disclaimer at the beginning, I'm not a professional. I don't even know how this works. I was doing a little bit more of my research, and apparently there's a difference between a company and a business, right? So, and what they filed for was a company, but they don't actually have a business number. So it's just crazy. I mean, like, at the end of the day, there's not much more that we can say with the whole case studies. So my conclusion, it's a scam, right? Um, is there a glimmer of hope? There could be. And the reason why I say that there could be is because I do work with a company who, like I mentioned before, does 70%. Now, who had 70%? Now, it's not guaranteed. Past profits do not guarantee future results. But they've developed a software, an AI bot trader that does very, very well during any sort of market, right? And they average anywhere from 20 to about 50% per month. I can even show you my account with them because I've been with them since December. So let me just pull that up. All right, so let's just pull that up, right? So this over here on the right hand side screen, that's just a student area. I didn't go through the actual courses yet, but this is for Forex, right? I hear a lot of people saying that Forex is a scam, but it's not. It's just a very, very difficult skill set to master, really, because with that one, from what I hear, 5% of people don't actually make it work. 5% of people only actually become professionals and are successful. But on my right hand screen on my phone, what you'll see is the actual account that I had. So what I'm going to do is actually just make a custom period from January 1st up to February 1st. Okay. And as you can see here, my balance at the beginning of the month was 585, right? And the profits that I made from that point was actually 334. So if we just do a quick calculation with this, 334.23 divided by 585.08 equals, right? So it was about a 57% growth on the actual account. And this is a real account. This is, right, I just don't want to go all the, right? It's a live account. And that's what we made it from January to February. From February to March, we did a little bit better. We did about 70%, but those were not normal. When I say not normal conditions, they're normal. They normally, from the 16-month period that they've been testing this spot, was about on average between 20 and let's say 50%, right? But the company that I'm with, they don't guarantee that you're going to be making 1.4%. They just have a lot of faith in the actual bot, and they have like the FX books to be able to show the growth of their actual softwares because they have a lot of different ones. And that's why when I saw Beurax and they actually had, let's say, 1.4% daily, I was like, oh, so the other person was able to create like a really good AI bot, which could make 70%, 50%, but they only decided to give us 1.4% daily. Because probably they found a better way. But at the end of the day, that's why I say, is there potential that they can still be legit? I'd say less than 1%, right? With the website not being up, because even with this company, the legitimate company that I'm with, they had a transitionary period to go from one broker to the other, and even through that process, they were able to give us pure communication. They were able to give us straight communication, transparent ideas, letting us know we're making this shift because we wanted to give us more of a fluid, more of a fluid. I don't know the proper word, but more of a fluid thing for our actual deposits, right? And it will be a lot more easier and a lot less fees, right? So, and there was constant communication during that transitionary zone, whereas with Beurax, the website's down, no communication, can't get a hold of them. Even like on the websites, I know we were trying to send out emails to their actual website at support@beurax.com or something like that, and there's just no contact with them. So if you're looking, so if you made it this far, one thing that I want to be able to share with you, and I know this video is going long, but the main red flags that is out there that you gotta look out for to make sure that we don't get duped again for these sort of commissions is the idea of really do the due diligence, I guess is the best thing I can say. But at the end of the day, try to get before putting any money. First of all, when it comes to investments, just it's a common practice. Only invest what you can afford to lose, because losing 100% of your investments is a reality in this whole game of entrepreneurship, online business, platforms, investments, and all that kind of stuff. And if you are looking to invest with that company, try to see if you can get constant communication with the actual founders, not just via the actual, let's say, chat bots, but to see if you can get into a Zoom call or like a phone call with them, or even like a face-to-face, because that's what I have with these legitimate businesses. Beurax was actually just one of those that I didn't overthrow because there was that government issued document, and I figured, okay, well, Australia has faith to give these guys business, to get them registered as a business. They must have done some sort of audit for them, but I guess those can actually be forged as well. So, and just to give more of awareness, there are other businesses right now that are doing like the exit scams. From what I've heard, I actually haven't looked too deep into it. I just did like a small little search on YouTube on like the exit scams, and apparently companies like Wiseling, I think Forsage came up, some other ones out there. They're all doing like an exit scam thing. So do be careful with that. I can't talk on my experiences with them because I haven't done like the case studies or anything like for that. But I can tell you from my case study and experience with Beurax is that, man, there are companies out there that, or there are people, I'm not even saying people out there that are willing to go the distance to really take all the money that you got, right? Because just think about it. Everything was pretty good up to the point where, like, and they're actually using like us to be able to market for them, because I was doing documentation. I was showing that their interest was coming through. I was showing that withdrawals were actually happening. And I guess once they got all that trust in, a lot of more people put their money. And from what I've heard, I don't know how true this is, they walked out with somewhere close to like $30 million or something like that. I'm not too sure, but yes. The waters of online marketing, or the waters of online business, the waters of investments, any sorts, online or offline, are definitely risky. So please watch out for it. What I'll be doing now for my next case study, I actually, from this experience, I actually took a lot from it, like the whole learning experience. One thing as an entrepreneur, if you're going to enter this whole world of online business, you've got to understand that you either win and feel really, really good, or you come out with a lot of like strong lessons that make you even stronger for next time, right? So what do I want to do for my next case study is I'm going to actually battle or take a stab at wholeheartedly at becoming a professional forex trader, or even just a market trader, because I heard a lot of people say forex is a scam, trading is a scam, but the truth of the matter of that, at least from my own experience, is that it's possible. I deal with 6, 7, 8-figure traders who consistently make profits, but there's a lot of patience, discipline, and skills involved, and that's why only 5% of the people that get into it actually become professional and profitable. And I want to be part of that 5%. So I think, so what I'm deciding to do is do a journey of that. It might take years, it might take a couple decades, I don't know. But there's a reason why it takes only 5% are able to accomplish it. And what I want to do is actually be part of that 5% so I can share it. Because one skill that I know I have is that I can learn things, I can implement them, but just as fast as I learn it, I can actually teach them a lot faster. So that's the updates for this channel. If you're here, thank you for staying with the whole way through. I looked at my statistics. Usually people only stay for the first 5 minutes, so I probably lost a lot of you. But if you're still here, feel free to like this video and subscribe to the channel. This OBS studio, I love it. It's kind of really cool. They have a lot of different things, but I'm gonna work that out. So hope you have a great and fantastic day. The case study for Beurax is done. My verdict, 1% it's legitimate, 99% it's a scam. And I hope you took notes to be able to keep your eyes open for other businesses out there so that we do not get scammed again. All right, till next time, one love. Peace. That was not supposed to happen. Let's try that one more time. There we go.